Ryan Arzy here with Foiling Magazine, and we have just linked up with Erik Antonson and Unifoil to talk about some of the new foils that are coming out. Everyone's been really anticipating the extended range of the progression wings that have been doing really well. And we're going to start with the 125 that I doubt many people have seen yet. And this thing looks amazing. Can you tell me some more about it?
Yeah, so the 125 is an extension really of the 140. So if you felt the 140 and there were moments where you were like, I wish I could go a little faster, I wish this was a little bit more efficient, or I'd like to turn a little bit harder, that's the 125. It's for the guys in Australia and Hawaii. It's for the advanced riders who want to get more out of their foil while keeping the exact same feel as the progression line. We were really careful in developing each of the foils. That's why they all look a little different, because it's based on the feel, not the look. And so this has been very well received, even in the winging community. The wing guys have been frothing really hard on the 125.
And then there's also some new aluminum fuses for a price point option. What configuration do you recommend, with the 125 or the other progression wings?
So I always say start off with the medium fuse and the shiv or progression tail. Now that the progression tails are out, the progression tail, zero shiv. That's a great feel out of the box to give you a baseline. And then if you want tighter radius or quicker pumping, the 125. If you want to extend a little bit more, you're drawing bigger lines on bigger waves, maybe the medium or the long fuse then.
And I have the progression tail here, carbon construction. This is at 13.5. Can you tell us about this tail?
The progression tails, it took us so long. If you could see, I have a box at home of all of the protos that we did to get the tail right. And I think it's about 28, 29 tails that we went through. And where we landed was we wanted a tail that was incredibly easy to ride, just like the range is. So some of the tails I really loved, but then, stall speeds started getting higher or they started getting a little bit squirrely. So we went with a tail that is much faster than the shiv shank shunts, but while keeping that same balance. So it's the same balance as the shiv tail, and it's just really easy to surf and kind of lights up the line.
Right. And then so the 14.5 option would be for heavier guys or someone looking for a little bit more glide and stability.
Yep. And I also like it with the 125 a lot. Like when you start going in smaller foils, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit more stability from the tail. It gives you a little bit more low end, doesn't cost you a whole lot at the top.
And
but I ride it also downwind a lot.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then talking about downwind as well and bigger riders, there's also the 200 here. Which, is this released yet?
Yep. That's out.
So this is out.
Yep. This might be my favorite foil.
All right.
Yep.
So what was the idea behind this, and where does it fill the gaps that the 170 wasn't quite getting there with?
It's just incredible low range.
Right.
And so this foil took us the longest of all of the progression range to get right. I don't remember, it's 5, 6 protos, something insane. And what we did was want to keep the feel. There's something special when you hop on like a 170. There's something special about that feel, the glide and still how it turns. I haven't really felt that in a lot of foils. And we wanted to keep that in the 200. And we could either get the glide, but then the turning didn't feel right, or we'd get the turning, but then the glide didn't feel right. But we finally got it right. And I'm so happy that Unifoil gave us the budget to do all the prototypes and take the time that we needed to get it right, because it's special. And I spend so much time on that foil. If it's 2 feet, I'm on there in 10-minute pump runs, around in the surf or downwind or wing, like super light winging conditions.
Awesome. So on the topic of downwind and glide and efficiency, Unifoil has also made a collaborative board to get you into downwinding and light wind winging and focusing on a really surfy feel. So can you tell us about the Nimitz board?
Yeah. So we're super stoked on the Nimitz. This was, the whole team working for the last few months on this. And it is a surf-focused downwind board. So it's going to get you in easy, but then the lines, the bottom contours, the touch points, are all designed, and even the angles are all designed to surf good on your run, to not penalize you if you touch down a little bit, and to, Unifoil is a surf first brand. And so anything that we're going to release needs to surf well, and that's what this board does. And it also gets up great. I mean, it gets up really easy. It paddles fast. I'm a pretty big dude and I'm riding the 100, no problem.
Right.
The 120 is like pop and you're up.
And this is 7.5 by 18 and
100 liters.
Yeah.
Yep.
So narrow enough, but still the volumes and thickness, and very simple.
Yep. Nice little concave on the deck to where, you feel like you're locked in when you're turning.
Right.
Yep.
And then we've also got the Quiver Killer behind us here.
Yep. This has been the hit of the show right here.
Everything.
Yep. And so the cool story about this board I have a buddy in Jacksonville. He's 67 years old. He's a good wing foiler. Greg, give him a shout out. And he's been having a tough time learning to prone. You know, he just can't get in. If he gets in, he doesn't have the momentum to pop up and then stay up. And we're out there one day, and he's like helped me back, 3 years ago when I started winging. And I was like, Greg, let me try to make you a board that's going to make your life a lot easier for learning to prone. And so this is like the third version of that shape, but this was essentially the shape. It's got a lot of liters.
5'6" at 55 liters.
Yep. It's got good touch points. Where the board, the foil mounts, it's still like surf small. We surf downwind boards at a pretty high level. This thing you can rip on. And so I made it for him, and he's a classic dude. He's got a Toyota Land Cruiser, and all of his gear, his kite gear, his foil gear, his prone gear, it's all in the back all the time. So he's got 4 boards in the back of it. Yeah. And he started winging on this.
Right.
And it's the only board he wings now. It's the only board he prones now. So in the back of his truck, there's only one board, and it's this board. And that's where the Quiver Killer name came from. And, when we were talking about boards with Unifoil, I was like, guys, I think we should make this board because it just makes sense for so many folks to have a board that just does everything. And here at the show this week, it's what everyone wants to take out. Everybody's winging it and stoked on it. So I think this is going to go really good.
Yeah.
I think you'll see more of this out there,
it looks
too.
pretty durable, too. Looks like it could take a drop and barely without a scratch. So definitely it's awesome to see Unifoil get into more boards as well and continue the progression range.
Yep.
I'm sure you've got more things. And
got some fun stuff coming.
Yeah.
Working.
All right. Well, stoked to see it. And yes.
Killer. Thank you, guys.